Welcome to another introduction to a video. It's not one that I'd planned to do, to be honest. I've just come back from 4 days up in Aberdeenshire, and I'd been on a nature reserve up there, a national nature reserve called the Muir of Dinnet. Really lovely place to visit, and I had done a whole video on the actual nature reserve and the different photography locations on that reserve. The problem with it is we didn't have brilliant weather when we were up there. It was quite a dull grey day for most of the day, and I wasn't really happy with a lot of the images. It just wasn't the right conditions, wasn't the right light for a lot of those locations, and the locations that are well known anyway. So what did happen while we were up there, however, is that we took a wrong turn and we ended up walking about a mile along a woodland path, and we came across an image that it was the first shot we took of the day, and we knew straight away, both myself and Leia, that it was the shot of the day. We weren't going to get a better shot. And I really felt that rather than do a generic video of the Muir of Dinnet Nature Reserve, which is, don't get me wrong, is a lovely place to visit, and we're going to be going back there throughout the seasons because I think it's got a lot of potential in the right season and the right light. We just came across this shot and thought it deserved a video all to itself. So that's what I've done. I hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you at the end of it.
Morning, how you doing? This week I'm back up in Aberdeenshire. Leia's been home for Christmas, and you're probably going to see throughout the year when she comes home, if I come up and fetch her and take her back home, there's going to be like these little 4-day holidays where I come up and then spend a couple of days up here, then drive back, which is what I'm doing this time. So I don't really have a lot of time for photography, but we've been scouring the maps, and what we wanted to do is find a place that isn't 100 miles away from here, that we can go and most times of the year get some nice photography. And we looked on the map and we discovered this place, did a little bit of searching on YouTube, as I normally do, and discovered this place called the Muir of Dinnet, which is a national nature reserve up here in Scotland. And it appealed to me for a couple of reasons. I looked at a video of it done by the Wildlife Trust type thing that are promoting this area, and they did a video of it throughout the year. It looks really good in spring and summer for macro photography, and they do get a lot of adders as well up here by the looks of it. There's a lot of pictures of adders up here and slow worms, so it could be a nice site to visit in the spring and summer. But yeah, also on one side of the road there's a loch called the Loch of Kinord. I think it's Kinord, probably not pronounced like that. We're going to go and have a look at that later on, because we're hoping, it's really crappy light today, it's really grey, so we've come into the woodland first. And also, as you can probably tell, I'm going uphill. I'm completely overdressed because the temperature's gone up, so I'm absolutely boiling. And yeah, there's a waterfall up here, which we're going to go and have a look at now. And then a little bit later on, I think there's something called the Vat o' Burn. It's called the Vat anyway. It's a formation of stone, or just a rock formation that the water, I think, goes down into like a big cauldron. And that could be quite interesting for some photography as well. So actually today I've bought the big lens, which I've got on. I always try and carry that on just in case I see something. There are red squirrels here as well, so I've got my eye out for those. And I bought the landscape kit as well. So yeah, it could be a mix of everything today. But really, it's just scoping these places out and seeing things while you're walking around and saying, yeah, this could be good for then, or this could be good for then, or if we see any wildlife signs as well. So you're always looking, maybe not for today, but maybe for another day. Anyway, I will catch you when I've caught my breath, and when we get up to this waterfall, and see if we can get a first shot of the day. Right, I'm not going to lie to you, we got lost. Well, we didn't get lost. I think what it is that because myself and Leia do an awful lot of walking, when we see a sign that says waterfall, and then there's a couple of different paths, our tendency is always to go for the one that seems to be going further away. And we forget that a lot of people won't walk a long way to get to somewhere. And the waterfall is probably about 300 metres further away from that sign. We took a different route and we've done about a mile. But we didn't turn around because we were enjoying the walk. And I'm absolutely, there's got to be a shot here. I mean, I'll turn around and show you at the minute. I saw this through the trees, so we've come a little bit off piste, and there's a really big, don't fall down there, daughter exploring. There's a really big ravine down here, and then clean to the end of it is this really, well, I'll show it to you. Come and take a look at this. Bearing in mind you've got all these old pines. Look at this. What do you think to that? Now that, there's a real big drop down there, so what I'm going to try and do is just try and engineer a landscape shot that's really just showing just this twisted tree, the branches, and yeah, I think we could, well, it's got to be able to make something really nice out of that. It's just a case now of getting round as carefully as we can and trying to find a clear shot through, but that is absolutely stunning. So yeah, there must be a shot. I'm going to have a scan around. I don't know where Leia's gone. She seems to have gone down there somewhere, which is where the ravine is. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can get a shot. I'll get set up, have a scout around to try and find the best position, then I'll show you when I've got some sort of composition. But yeah, just an absolutely beautiful old tree. Right, so we're still at this nice twisted old tree that we found. It just is, well, there's no way to describe it other than absolutely stunning. It's beautiful, and I've managed to get a composition I quite like, and I'm torn at the minute whether to do it in black and white or in colour, but I think I'm going to take one of each and then I'll decide later. That's the beauty of digital. You can do one, do both, try different things. Right, so I'll just show you this on the back of the screen. So obviously you can see we've got these rocks. There's a rock on this side and there's another rock on this side, and they form sort of a natural gateway obviously to the tree in the middle. What I've been having trouble with, if you can see, this trunk is slightly hidden by this rock, and I actually I was able to move the tripod across to the right a little bit so that the whole trunk is showing, and it doesn't for me work as well. I don't know what the reason is. It just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't work as well. For me, if I'm, the story that I've come up with this shot is that this tree with its branches sort of overarching these rocks, and there's another one disappearing down here, looks like it's actually pulling itself up this gully, and that's why you can't see the whole trunk. If you can see the whole trunk, it just becomes a stationary tree. But with it in this position, it really just looks like it's heaving itself up this little tight gully as if it's really, you know, a tree that can move, if you like. Maybe it's, as my daughter says, my first ent shot, I don't know, but I really do like it in this position. So what I've done, I've gone back to with the trunk slightly hidden, that little bit of a mystery it puts into the shot. And I don't know, it just looks better balanced to me anyway. But yeah, what I've also got obviously is the branches coming up to these top corners on both sides, which I like as well. And it just really gives a nice balance to the shot with the two rocks in the foreground. Anyway, I'm going to shoot it in monochrome as well, do a little bit of post-processing on it, and yeah, tell me if you like it. Right, we've just finished at that tree. You can tell we've not done any landscape photography for a while, and we've got a bit of light coming through now. We're so nervous about leaving before we've actually checked every setting, redone every shot. And that's the thing with digital, you don't have to leave taking one shot. You can always, you know, take 3 or 4 of virtually the same composition just to make sure, you know, the tripod didn't slightly move, and and that shot wasn't sharp in the corner. That's the worst thing you can do, is just take one shot thinking it's perfect, get back and then just check, and it's out of focus slightly in one position or something. So yeah, we spent a real long time there. But I suppose it's also, when I was looking at YouTube videos last night of other people who'd come here, and they've all got shots of the same places, and no doubt we're going to get to those same places later on today and hopefully try and get some shots. As I say, still got the wildlife lens back on because you never know. But we made a mistake today. We took a wrong turn, and if we hadn't taken that wrong turn, we would never have come across that tree. If we always, as photographers, go to the same place as everybody else does, we're all taking shots of the same things. Now, I'm not going to tell you where that tree is here. If you want to come and do a trip, you know, we followed the waterfall path, but then we came off it, and as much as that is all I'm going to tell you. You know, I'm a great advocate for doing your own adventuring and finding your own compositions. That's exactly what we've done today, and yeah, I really love that shot. Leia's really happy with hers as well, so we've already had a successful day.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. As I say, it wasn't the one I'd planned to do, but I felt that shot, for me, I really love it. Please let me know what you think to it. Please let me know what you think to the idea of, you know, getting off and exploring yourself more, and whether that's something that you do. I know it's quite difficult because we're all pushed for time these days, and it is often easy to go to a place where you know you've got a good chance of getting a shot because it's been done before. But for me, yeah, it's much more difficult to get your own individual shot and explore yourself. But if you do get one, for me, then it just really elevates that shot to another level, in my own mind anyway, because, you know, I know that very few people will have taken that shot. Anyway, as I say, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time for another one. Bye till then.